This is Omni Sports Breakfast. Sports with Kevin McCallum and MKT.
All right, the Boks have announced their squad for the November tour, and it is loaded after a successful year in the Rugby Championship. The Boks will face Scotland, England, Wales on the 10th, 16th, and 23rd of November. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like the Northern Hemisphere tour, is there?
No, it is. It's a great tour. I've been on one 2001. I went over with the Springboks to. We went to France, Italy, and then London, and then they went off to go play in the United States, a game that no one wanted to watch, and they absolutely hammered them. But it is a great tour because it's just against traditional rivals. It's a tough away tour because you're playing 3 different stadiums in 3 different weeks, and we're playing Wales, Scotland, who are going to be very good, and England.
What I'm annoyed about is that we don't get to do the Grand Slam. Why aren't we playing? Why aren't we playing Ireland? You remember back in the day, it was called the Grand Slam if you could beat all of the big 4 home nations. Now we don't have that. Well, what's up with that?
It's obviously just a change. It depends on the host as well, what the hosts want, how they organise their schedules, and also whether you can make money or not. That's a big thing.
Also, I guess we've already beaten Ireland enough times in a World Cup where we've actually won World Cups and they just talk about being good. We don't really have anything to prove. Let's go up there, bash England, bash Wales, bash Scotland, and then come home and rest.
Oh, indeed. And it's a very good squad. I think Russie's just had enough experimentation. He's rolled out the big boys again. 4 of the World Cup winners are back in, Franco Mostert leading that charge. The guys who have been injured for a while, he's...
Let's go through it position by position there, Kev. I'd like to start with the props and sort of go through it so we can see exactly what we mean when we say this team is loaded.
Yeah, you got Thomas the Tank Engine du Toit back, Vincent Koch, Frans Malherbe, Gerrit Steenekamp, who came in this season. He's been excellent. Malcolm Marks and Bongi Mbonambi at hooker makes sense. And then the locks. It's great having Franco Mostert back. he's such a versatile player. He's struggled with injury and missed the Rugby Championship, but he's going to be up alongside Eben. Etzebeth, Franco Mostert, Ruan Norke, and Archie Snyman. That's a heck of a pairing. Can you imagine Archie Snyman either coming off the bench or starting? You must be, if you're the opposition, you don't want that to happen. And the Lucy's, Peter Steph du Toit, Sia Khaleesi, the Springboks still over him, Elrich Lowe, Kwaka Smith, Marco van Staden, and Jasper Wiese. All great players. And a lot of those guys playing in Japan these days. So they it's not like it's the hardest rugby, but they still, they're keeping fit, ticking along. There's a utility forward in Jan Hendrik Wessels. And then the scrum halves, I love this. Jaden Hendrickse, Kobus Reiner, Grant Williams, no space for Faf. As I keep saying, I don't think Faf will make the Springbok squad again. I think his time is done. At fly half, obviously no Sasha Feinberg Mzulu. He's injured. He had his operation. But Mani Liebok and Andre Pollard are there. Lukanya Ahmed Center, Damien Delende, Andre Esta is an absolute beast. Jesse Creel, that's just a midfield pairing in heaven. Kurtley Arendse, Pile Fassi, Cheslin Colby, Willie LaRue, Bakazoli Mampimpi, Kenan Moody, Damien Willemse. Those are the outside backs. Can you imagine seeing that back 3? It's just, it's a strong team, no messing around. We're going to go in and going to up north and prove a point or 2.
We'll talk more about the Boks, obviously, as it gets closer, but that is your squad if you're from the Republic of South Africa. And indeed, I think the Springboks now, I've picked up a message, sort of, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, in the SADC region, people are loving the Springboks going and representing them as Africa and not just South Africa, because, listen, people love winners. It's just that simple. That's your Bok team that's going to be going up north. But let's get to a team that's come from the global north. Or the UAE, and have come down south. The Proteas women's team is home after a bitter disappointment, bitter disappointment of losing the World Cup final. After that loss, Nonkululeko Mlaba, or Lefty as she's known, she spoke to the media. She was asked about the team performing despite the lack of resources that the women's team has.
Besides not having the resources that other team have, we always believe, this team always have a belief, and we've been working hard. I know now we're trying to catch up with other teams because obviously there's this new technology thing that they're working with, and we're just only starting now to being introduced to that, and it's kind of harder for us because now we're trying to adjust. But I mean, it's working for us. I feel like we must just leave what they use and just do us and use whatever that we mustn't try and be there.
Yeah, I mean, she's a character. You saw her celebrations as well. If you haven't seen them, she's an absolute firecracker. And I think one of the stars of the tournament that's come out in a really good light. I think, listen, she's a marketer's dream, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. I was surprised she wasn't selected for the Big Bash. I mean, Laura Wolfart and Marizanne Cup have gone over to go play that. But most of the team were back, but you could see they were exhausted. They had a red carpet out and they had a band. They had a big organisation in terms of celebration planned, and you could see they were exhausted. They just wanted to get on a bus and go home and sleep.
So, Kev, you were there. I mean, being a big-time journalist, you attended the press conference. As you say, was the whole team there, or was it just a few of the ladies?
No, most of the team, the coaching staff, were there. Gator McKenzie wasn't there. Obviously, there wasn't enough space for him, and the buffet was a bit small as well, so he didn't arrive. Sorry, but yeah, it was excellent. When I spoke to Nonkululeko, she was talking about the team's intent and coming back from the tournament and what they're going to be doing moving forward. And this is what she had to say.
I mean, you guys saw last year that we made it to the finals, right? So our goal was to win the finals this time around. Unfortunately, we didn't, but we tried our best. But we're still happy that at least we made it to the finals back to back. And hopefully next year we get to bring the trophy at home.
Yeah, like for me, again, we can't call them chokers. They aren't the Proteas men's team that's been choking since 1999, and it's like 25 years of choking. It's literally they were in 2 finals in 2 years. It happens, you know. Now, they are professional athletes. If they do this over 10 years, then we can start to say things like that. I think at the moment we should be celebrating. And as we've heard, they don't have the resources. I mean, if they become professional, I think in life it's reasonable to have expectations to the level that someone has privilege. Like, I'm much more impressed by people who come from nothing and make it than some trust fund kid who happens to become an investment banker. It's like, you know, okay, well done, but to the kid who comes from the streets and comes like the same investment bank, it's a lot tougher journey, and I think the Proteas women's at the moment are there. One thing that's really made it easier, and someone who's become a bit of a character and really helped out the team is Protea, former Protea Paul Adams. He's come in and she's taken incredibly well to her coach. Here's what Lefty had to say about Paul Adams coming in.
Yeah, I think we're capable of doing that. We such a young team. We have a lot of young players, and yeah, we can. I feel like now at this point we can beat anyone. Honestly, yeah. I think he has built my confidence more. I felt like I wasn't confident enough before, and Paul being around me and working with him has made things easier. As I said earlier, he's a nice guy. We speak more of cricket and also other stuff, and that also makes me feel comfortable, you know. But he really fixed a lot of things about me, especially my action. I'm sure you guys wouldn't notice my action was terrible. I'm just gonna say straight. But now I feel like it's getting better, but we still have a long journey to obviously fix it and work.
Love that. And Paul Adams also spoke to us about how him and Lefty have connected and how he tried to help her as a coach.
Yeah, I think with Lefty it was about discussing situations that she can face. I always put it in her hands where she's got to assess, but I've given her tools about, okay, bladder A or B is going to be batting in this sort of way. This is their strength. We're going to go with this type of strategy against them. And that was very important, that she's receptive and understands what I was talking about. So that comes with building a relationship and chatting to her and building that trust. So first of all, the last few months was to get her back to where she has control of also everything. That she can say we're going to go slower on this sort of surface or opposition, or we're going to actually mix it up and make sure you're using your arm ball, which I sort of told her. I said, I've been researching the ladies' game, and arm balls have picked up a lot of wickets for different players, and utilizing it a little bit more, but also when you use it and how the field adapts to it and moves, so you don't want to be bowling on and then your field's in the wrong position. So those things are all key. And
yeah, you love to hear that from good old Paul Adams. Hey, I tell you what, Proteas women understand this, that it is game on with AGT Foods, natural superfoods. Our beans and pulses provide the fuel you need to keep moving. Power your passion with every bite. Brought to you by AGT Foods Africa. Good food, good health, good life. Our question of the day, which we'll answer at the end of the show: which two players have won the joint most Premier League Player of the Month awards? We'll answer that at the end of the show. Coming up next, we'll talk Champions League. What a night, what results, what a tournament.
Listen live and on demand.
Welcome to Omni Sport.